Okay, so again, this is 4-8, and it's all about number sense. So look at this example they have here. I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but I just want you guys to think about this for a moment. 49.20, what could we round that to? I mean, what would be a good number that would be easy to work with? Yeah.
50?
Yeah, 50. Okay, we could change that to 50, okay, times, and then they have a 0.55. Mr. Fall, what would you change that to?
50? 60?
Well, no, it's a 0.55, so it's a decimal. What's that close to? It's close to 0.5. What's another way of looking at 0.5 as a fraction?
1/2.
What's a half? Okay, so we could just see 50 times 0.5, okay, equals. So remember, whenever you see 0.5, that's the same thing as a half. My phone is going crazy here. So, what's half of 50?
25?
25. That's what this is about. You're just kind of working with the numbers, changing them, rounding them. Okay, so they kind of make sense. So the answer, look at the answer they have here. 2706. That's the actual answer. What haven't they put in? Thank you, the decimal. Where would it make the most sense to put the decimal? Yes, Mr. Holman.
Between the 7 and
Yeah, because it's going to be close to 25. So he's putting the decimal right there, between the 7 and the 0. That's what this is about. Okay? So let's move down here. I'm not going to worry about the convince me. You guys can cross that out. Let's just drop down to the guided practice here. And I think, is this the last section before we do the chapter review?
no.
No, there's one more. Okay. All right. So guided practice, it says describe the unknown factor. In other words, what's missing? So it says something times 5.1 is about 300. So we could just call it 5. And so instead of 300, we could call it 30. So let me ask you, what is 30 divided by 5 equal? 6. I heard somebody say it, 6. Now I didn't use 300, I used 30, so I got to add a 0. So it says describe the unknown factor, and we could put 60 there, okay? Because it says is about. Remember, anytime you see is about, they're estimating. Thank you. It's an approximate. All right. Let's see here. Not worried about number 2. You can cross that out. Let's jump into 3, 4, and 5. It says use number sense to decide where the decimal point belongs in the product. So, what do we have here? We have, I'm looking at number 3, and it says 5 times 3.4 equals, and they have a 17. No decimal. It could be a 0.17, it could be a 1.7, it could be 17. So we could leave 5 the same, 5 times, and instead of 3.4, what would you use? Yeah, I heard somebody say it, 3. What's 3 times 5? 15. Okay. So where do you think the decimal would go in this answer? Miss Noble.
Before the 7.
Yeah, right here. And so you just come over here and put the decimal right there. It'd be 17. How about number 4? Let's take a look at that for a moment. Again, this is just number sense, kind of common sense, thinking about it in such a way that it'll make it easier. So it's 1922. We don't know where the decimal goes. It could be 1,922. It could be 19.22. It could be 1.922. Well, let's see what the factors are. Okay? So they've got a 3.1 and a times a 6.2. Let me pull a stick here. Ms. Gage, what could you change 3.1 to? Ms. Gage, what could you change 3.1 to? Mr. Cosgrove, help her out.
Just take away the one.
Yeah, just make it 3. Okay. Ms. Gage, what could you change to 6.2 to? Yeah, 6, just 6. Okay, I think that's, I'm not sure if that's what you said, 6. So, we rounded them, make them easier to work with. Mr. Moyers, 3 times 6 is what? 18. Okay, now look at the answer. We know it's going to be really close to 18. So, Mr. Lee De La Rosa, where do you think that decimal would go?
In front of the second 2.
Yeah, between the 9 and the 2, right there. I mean, it makes sense. So the answer would be 19.22. And I'll just put it here, 19.22. That's what they're asking you guys to do here. I'm going to do one more. Let's look at number 5, and then I'm going to cut you guys loose, I think. Okay, so number 5. So we have a 0.6 times a 0.4 equals, and the digits are 24. It could be 0.24, it could be 2.4, it could be 24. So, really, we don't need to do anything with these two other than remembering or noticing that the decimal's in front of each one. What's 6 times 4? 24. Okay, but we have 2 decimals to contend with here. 1, 2 places. Where do you think the decimal goes? In front of the 2. So it would be 0.24. And hopefully that makes sense to you guys, 0.24. It's not going to be 24. It's way too big. We're multiplying 2 numbers together that are less than 1. So it's 0.24. Okay? All right, let's see here. Yeah, 6 through 9 looks like the same thing. And then 10 through 15, if you take a look at that, they're asking you if the decimal is in the right place. It may not be. And it says, if not, rewrite the product, that's the answer, with the decimal point correctly placed. So, for example, number 10, I'm looking at here, if the answer, if it's 57.6, then you would say it's 57.6. You would just rewrite it. In number 11, if it's 33.28, you would just rewrite it. You'd move the decimal over one place and put 33.28. So that's what they're asking you to do with those problems. Okay. All right. Let's drop down to the next page here. Take a quick look. It says a pig farmer needs 60 square feet to house a sow. Okay, the pen is pictured to the right. Is it large enough? Okay, so let me pull a stick here. For 50 points, Mr. Delgado, what is the formula for area? Area equals what? 100 points, Miss Rieger. Area equals what? How do you figure out area? Put your book away. 150 points, Mr. Fall. What's the formula for area? How do you figure out? Yes, 150. Put it up. Length times width. So it's going to be 6.4 times 10.5. I'll let you guys figure that one out. And don't forget, whatever the answer is, when we're talking about area, let's say the answer is 98.2. Then you would write feet squared. Remember to put that exponent. Okay, Ms. Maldonado?
On the other page, I respectfully disagree with number 3 because it Yeah.
Did I make a mistake?
Yes.
And she was so polite about pointing out Mr. Glazer's mistake. So, which one, number 3?
Yeah.
And what did I say?
You said 15.
Number 3.
Number 3, you put 17 point.
It's 17.0. Isn't that what I said?
Yeah.
Right.
I think it's 1.7.
Oh, you do? Okay. Well, you know what? And so first off, just go put up 50 points. I love the way she responded. She said, Mr. Glazer, I respectfully disagree. I don't think you did number 3 correctly. So let's take a look at number 3. All right? And so you think it's, Ms. Maldonado, you think it's 1.7. Okay? So let me point out something to you that may help you see this. Okay? 5, you can go outside and do it. 5, we don't need to change that, right? Do you agree with that? Okay. And the 3.4, I changed it to 3 instead of 3.4 just to make it easier to deal with. And then we looked at it as 5 times 3, which is 15. Okay? If you think about it, 3 is less than 3.4. So if anything, it'll actually be larger than 15. And the actual answer is 17. Okay, and I could actually do the problem. Let's take a look at it just for a moment here. I'm going to do 3.4 times 5. 5 times 4 is 20. Put down the 0, carry the 2. 5 times 3 is 15, plus 2 more is 17. We have 1 decimal to deal with here. It's 1 place, so I'm going to start way in the back, and I'm going to move right over 1. So the answer is 17.0 or 17. Do you see it now, hon? Okay. Yeah, thank you. That was a great way to disagree with me instead of saying, Mr. Glazer, you blew it. Okay. All right. So anyways, who got 16 for me? Who was that? Did you put up points? Did I tell you to? Okay, good. All right. All right, 17. Let's take a quick look. Quincy says that 3 is a good estimate for 3.4 times 0.09. Is he correct? Why? Well, what you think it is, really? I heard somebody say it is. Yeah, actually, no, I don't think so. And I'll let you guys figure that out. You can actually do the problem. All right. Now, if it was let me point this out. If it was 3.4 times 0.9, that would be a good estimate, but it's not 0.9, it's 0.09. And 0.09 is not close to 1. This is close to the number 1. All right. 18, you guys can do. 19, you can convert gallons to liters by using a factor of 3.79. That is, 1 gallon is about 3.79 liters. 1 gallon is about 3.79 liters. So about how many liters are in 37 gallons? So all you're doing is you're going to be multiplying 37 times 3.79, and you'll get an answer. 20, you can do that, and then 21 and 22 multiple choice, you guys can do those. I'll make some of these on these 2 pages will be worth a stick. I'm not going to tell you which one. I'll probably do 3 problems worth a stick. All right, maybe 4. Okay, questions about any of this, you guys? No? Okay. I wonder why it's cutting out part of my screen, huh? Anyways, I will end this here.